make money, money making money, money making money, money making money, money making money, manifest, making money, money making money, money making money, money making money. I ain't stressed, making money, money making money, money making money, money making money. Gratitude is my attitude. I'm making money moves. Jewelry in the safe, piggy bank on full. And I'm living life abundant. I'm making money fast. I'm a money making magnet, making cold hard cash. I'm making money. Oh, I am blessed.
I think I might even start like pre-recording my shows and just putting them on. I might have to change the whole format and how I do my videos, because like the lives, I mean, hell, people aren't watching the videos replay. So why am I keep doing stuff on live? It's funny because it's like they like to get into lecture mode, like Genesis, because what happened is they stay replay. So why am I keep doing stuff on live? So I think I'm about to switch over and start doing pre-recorded content and then just doing a premiere and start doing it that way. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm about to switch that up. I was on Maggie's channel yesterday. That was an interesting interaction. What's so funny is that, in that Jaguar sector, people like love to hate me. You know what I'm saying? People, it's funny because it's like they like to get into lecture mode, like Genesis, because what happened is they got to talking about Jaguar's dead son, and after a while, I was kind of feeding into it too, talking about him, what happened and this, that, the other. But then I thought about it and I was like, maybe we should change the subject. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what? I know for me, if I don't care if I'm crazy or not, and Jaguar is in fact crazy. I don't care if I'm a narcissist, if I'm a fucking psychopath, a sociopath, whatever it is. I know that, it's probably a trigger to continuously talk about her deceased. You know what I'm saying? Even though she does that to other people. She talked about my deceased people. You know what I'm saying? But at some point, it's like, are we just as insane as she is to talk about these things and not think that there's any kind of karma based on that? You know what I'm saying? So I initially went up on Maggie's channel because she came up on mine. So out of like a respect, I went ahead and went on hers. You know what I'm saying? She came on mine, I go on hers. You know what I'm saying? Just out of like, hey, thank you for being on my panel. So come, what's up? You know what I'm saying? So I came over there. And at first she was just asking about the whole carbonation thing and stuff like that. And then it started getting into Jag. So at some point in the conversation, they started to be like, well, why are you over here if you don't want to talk about Jaguar? Well, like I said, one, I was trying to return a favor for Jag coming to my panel, so I came on hers, number one. And number two, I was okay with initially just talking about carbonation stuff. You know what I'm saying? They were just wondering, like, what was my connection? How did I get involved with them? And I didn't mind talking about that. I think that the whole Jaguar conversation is a dead horse. I mean, to be quite honest, is that, people that constantly doing content on Jaguar is what makes her relevant. You know what I'm saying? If people just stopped talking about that bitch, she would be crying, wishing that somebody was back talking about her. Whether it be because she feeds off of negativity. She eats that shit up like it's fucking rice cakes. She thrives on negativity. Certain people are good with that chaotic magic, that chaos, you know what I'm saying, that liking the chaos, so, she feeds on people talking about her, whether it be good or bad, and people learn that in Hollywood. They learn how to feed off of negative. They learn that it's better to be talked about, whether it's positive or negative, than not talked about at all. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes people talk more about the villain than they talk about the good guy. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much what it is. She's feeding off of that kind of that villain energy. You know, she made herself out to be the Joker. You know what I'm saying? You know, the newspaper probably talk about Batman. Batman comes again and saves the day. But they talk probably more about Joker. The Joker strikes again. The Joker strikes again. So Jaguar, she wants to be the Joker. She wants to be the Joker. And people are, you know, feeding into that Marvel villain energy. And, you know, I catch myself, you know what I'm saying? I find myself getting caught up in that shit too, getting on a panel and people get to asking me questions and I answer the questions. And I'm going to start like saying, hey, you know what? I just wanted to say hi, come and say hi, and that's it. I don't want to answer no more questions about Jaguar and carbonation because the shit's redundant, bro. Go and look at the archives. Go do a search. I'm sure you'll find me on multiple panels talking about this shit, what happened. The shit is, I'm tired of repeating the same story over and over again. I'm tired of repeating the same story over and over again about what happened with me and Jaguar Wright. It really, you know, it was a little sprinkling time in my life. It's over with. I'm moving on. You know what I'm saying? You know, since then she has been in 4, 5 different relationships. She done got engaged. She done traveled all over different countries. You know, states. Been arrested 3, 4, 5 more times. You know what I'm saying? Like really, I mean that shit's like 3 years old, bro. And it's some people, I think that what it is that there's a lot of people, when you put Jaguar's name in the algorithm, motherfuckers, they click the button. You know what I'm saying? So she does have her own algorithm. I must say, she has her own algorithm of people looking for her. You know what I'm saying? But, do I want to be sucked into that? No. I already spent like a whole year and a half building myself up trying to get away from that bull stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah. I mean, like I said, I thank Madgie for, I initially got said to her, when she left that, because every once in a while I'll peek in on that whole thing, see what's going on. But do I want to be dragged back into that? No, because that whole algorithm and the CCs can be toxic against each other. Like it's like a bunch of like infighting, because they're feeding off of Jaguar's negative energy. And so the only thing that kind of thing can attract from a CC is kind of doxing, people finding out where you live, motherfuckers, sending the SWAT teams to your house and stuff like that. I mean, they be going really crazy in that algorithm. It turns into a beef. People get to not liking you, then they start fucking with you. I mean, I remember back in the day when I was a part of that whole thing, people were sending CPS to my house, sending adult services. Like, that whole algorithm is very, very toxic. And I don't want to get back into that. So I'm gonna focus on what I've been doing over here with the conscious community. I'm not trying to get involved with that whole Jaguar nothing, I can admit though, at some point my page was like kind of getting good hits off of that, like the content talking about her and what she had did to me and da da da, and people hated me, but they still would come in. Some people had to choose sides, but that whole audience is a fickle audience. You know what I'm saying? If you don't do what they think that you should do, then they won't, I'm gonna unsubscribe, because you have a lot of older women that want to like control. They want to feel like you doing what they want you to do, and they like a lot of mean girl energy. And I'm just not a mean, what I'm saying? I could be a mean, but it comes out in an explosion. It's not like a constant mean girl energy where I'm just being a mean bitch all the time. It comes out in like foul, you know what I'm saying? An explosion where I'm destructive and I destroy everything. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a very nice, up to a certain point, kind, but then when I get mean, it's usually very like something's gonna get fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It's not like just being mean, yeah, whatever, girl. I don't do all that. You know what I'm saying? Because It's better that I not be in that energy. Better to keep me away from that energy. If you want me to be on that energy, because that's going to turn into a whole other thing. You know what I'm saying? So I have a hard time dealing with women anyway. You know what I'm saying? So that whole algorithm is primarily female, and it's really catty, and I don't have time for it. Like older women, like in their 50s and 60s and whatever age they are, and they just real catty with each other, and you know, they like to see each other kind of see people like arguing and going after each other, you know? Because even yesterday when I was on the thing, it was like, you know, people were just like, yeah, rolling their eyes and all this other stuff. Yeah, I think somebody was like, I think she gonna lose some people based on this. Well, honey, my audience is mostly men. I don't have a whole bunch of female. Most of probably them female people that they don't even watch my channel as much anymore. I have a lot more male. There's probably a few females, but mostly male that watch my channel. Because I don't do all the gossip stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like a. So my stuff is more about knowledge and you know, about like kind of nerdy stuff, and it's about like learning about different things when it comes to spirituality. So the audience for that is going to be more male. Now, if I was gossiping and talking about what's happening with Cardi B and whatever, then I'd probably get more of a female audience. But the demographic of my page is primarily a male demographic, you know, except for like the few lovely females that I would consider like a sisterhood that comes over to my channel. And I'm not gonna start gossiping and doing all that. You know, I make a statement on what I think about what's going on in current events. But as far as it being like a whole page full of gossip about who did what and Mo3 and then Cardi B and all that stuff, there's plenty of that out there. You know what I'm saying? I would like to be the alternative. When you get tired of looking at all that bullshit, then you come over here and talk about some spirituality, talk about some things more positive. Tonight, I think either I'm going to be talking to 607 Unk again to finish up the thing about the feminine energy, and then I think we're going to get into a relationship panel too. Yesterday, Baba Yashabaya, man, his audio was so bad. I put that video on private. I had to like start it all over again because you know what, I can't let him go out like that. He's 74 years old. And we need to, I didn't really see a lot of support on that video because I think of the subject, but I don't care. He was, even though you couldn't hear him, there was still some good gems in there. So, but I put it on private because I'm going to redo that video. We're going to come back again when it's not storming outside so we can get a good connection and you guys can hear everything he's saying, because it's very rare that you get a person like 74 that been around when all this stuff, all the Hebrew Israelites, all these things were just starting. It's hard. It's very rare you get to talk to a person that's that old that was around during that time. So when you get an opportunity to talk to them, you gotta like you should sit down and listen, because these people was around, you know. Because all we have right now is just what people, you know, you know, a lot of our people from that time frame are, you know, they're in their 70s, they're getting old, they're passing on. So when you get an opportunity to like really get that wisdom from those elders like that, we need to take it. And so I want to take it, and I want to do him justice, you know what I'm saying, on taking that. And I know a lot of elders. I know a lot of people that are older that were around, and I'm going to start doing more interviews with people like that to archive some interviews with them so that we don't lose that knowledge. I don't know why we have gotten away from our elders. We need to start getting more into like learning from the elders in our community. It's like we're losing that older population, that older all of those older people, and their stories are leaving with them. So we need to take the time out to, like, you know, listen to the knowledge that they have, you know. I mean, listen, this Sunday, y'all, I'm gonna have Baba Yashabai come back up. Please come and support him, because like I said, he's 79. It ain't that much time when you get to hear elders. You know, I know he be talking, his teeth is missing, whatever, and he be talking. But let me tell you something. He be bringing the knowledge, bro. Please come and see him. I know sometimes it's hard to hear him. His like live, his thing be a little bit cracked up or whatever. But please come and see him this Sunday. He got another person coming up with him, and he about to break down Ifa. Please come this Sunday. We don't get to hear from our elders that much. Shouts out to Baba Yashabaya. I love him so much. He was able to break down even Israel, that Israel wasn't even formed until 1942 or 1948. So how could you be a Hebrew Israelite and say that Israel is your country if hell Israel wasn't even around back in the biblical time? There was no such thing as Israel back then. So he broke all that down. He broke down a lot of different things. So I'm gonna try to see if I can either bring him back possibly today, if he's able to, if I can make sure his video and stuff look good and the audio and stuff is working good. And I did back sometime this weekend. But I know I'm supposed to bring him back 6 o'clock. I did bring him back, so his video is up there. Please go look up the things with Baba Yashabaya. Go on my channel and go watch what he says, because it's going to blow your mind. He has so much powerful information. Please watch him. And then tonight we did brother Kevin Wesley, and he really brought the house down. We listen, 5 hours, okay, of information. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm about. Like, man, all this other stuff and who don't like this person and who said this and da 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 and people gossiping. Who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, exactly. So I think I said a little bit more about how the Kardashians, how Jenner, how even that whole porno that Kim Kardashian did, that her mom was even a part of that, and they like struck a deal. What kind of mom would strike a deal for their daughter to do a porno? They wanted to be famous by any means necessary. You understand me? They don't have no, I don't know if that's a cultural thing, but there's no way that I would have been, no. I would not exploit my kids like that. And then she sat there and let her little young Kendall Jenner get all that plastic surgery and all that stuff like that. She don't even look the same. She's like a completely different person. She done got so much she done turned into a completely different human being than when she was born. When she has kids, they don't look nothing like how she really they look. Of course, he looked more like Travis Scott than, you know what I'm saying, but I'm saying, like, she don't look like what she looked like. You know what I'm saying? She done got so much plastic surgery. That whole Hollywood thing, that's why I could never move out there. This is just a bunch of crazy nonsense. And fakeness. Hey, Aura. How many teddy bears you got in your book bag? What is that? Elf? I'll be having like 15 million teddy bears. Man, my little baby. Kirby, okay. She's 17 and be having like 15 teddy bears. Kirby. That's cute. You know what? I still played with baby dolls and teddy bears when I was like 17, 18 years old. I love the innocence, Right. You're not twerking and doing all that, trying to be grown, You ain't got no lace front on. You got your natural hair, shouts out, But yeah, so what do you think about Kanye West wearing the Black Klan's outfit?
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's always been like that. It's like, hey, blah, 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 blah.
Trying to put him in the crazy house, right? Oh. He just went to Japan. But I'm like, dude, they're billionaires. They can find you in Japan. You don't think they can find you in Japan? Oh, then they told him where. The guy said, "Oh, you going to China and Japan?" Academics is a snitch, bro. Academics is a snitch. Look, this nigga trying to leave the country to escape from getting locked up in a mental ward. Act gonna tell everybody where he going. Oh, they trying to say going to what's in Japan? What makes you want to go to Japan? Kanye like, hello, don't drop the low, bro. Hello, like, well, you know what you're doing. So now they know to look at his. They can intercept him on the way there and try to hold him at the goddamn thing. You know, get away from everything.
Right, go get like some udon tea or something.
Right, he he told him he's God and everything is in his mind and everything. Okay. But I'm just like, in his mind, he has contributed. You know what? I'm gonna have to give you a blessing. Listen, I want everybody to remember this song. Listen, this is my money making mantra. Shouts out to Linda for giving me this. All right, I'm gonna play this.
I am blessed to make money, money making money, money making money, money making money, money making money, manifest.
Thank you, Linda.
Money making money, money making money, money making money. I ain't stressed. Making money, money making money, money making money, money making money. Gratitude is my attitude. I'm making money moves. Jewelry in the safe, piggy bank on full. And I'm living life abundant. I'm making money fast. I'm a money making magnet, making cold hard cash. I'm making money. Oh, I am blessed.
And hey, listen. Let me tell you the reason why I made that song, right? I was listening to Reverend Ike. Reverend Ike has this whole like manifestation thing, right? Right? And he has affirmations about making money, right? And he talks about making money. I'm gonna just forward it to. I'm gonna let y'all know that. Listen, I wrote that song based on Reverend Ike, and I love Reverend Ike. I'm sorry, I don't care what that. Oh, he a prosperity minister. He just okay. Well, all right. Shouts out.
Prosperity is the truth of me. I have nothing to do with failure. I have nothing to do with poverty. Lack and limitation are no part of me. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want.
Man, tell me if this shit right here is not fucking sweet. I'm gonna forward it to the part where I said, man, they need to make a song out of this, and I made that song. Hold on.
And I feel money pouring in. I see money. And I feel money pouring in. Money-making ideas keep unfolding in my mind. I see myself with extra money. Surplus money. And money-making money. 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 Money making money. Money making money. Money making money. And I'm fascinated by money. Thank you, God, in me. And now I bless you with the blessings of health, happiness, love, success, and prosperity. Good
Money
evening.
making money, money making money, money making money, money making money, manifest, making money, money making money, money making money, money making money. I ain't stressed, making money, money making money, money making money, money making money. Gratitude is my attitude. I'm making money moves. Jewelry in the safe, piggy bank on full. And I'm living life abundant. I'm making money fast. I'm a money making magnet, making cold hard cash. I'm making money. Oh, I am blessed.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Money making money. Money making money, bro. Right. The Ethiopian Bible teaches the real scriptures because they didn't remove books, change, and falsify text to control congregations. It teaches how to increase and protect your energy and faith. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Oh, listen. So, I'm kind of like irritated by the fact that that whole live with Madgie got replayed. So this is like my kind of response to it, because I was like, you know what? I did this response. It was bothering me. It was bothering me. So fucking irritated. I was like, oh my God. So this is me kind of responding to it. My daughter, I took my daughter to school. Look at her little bunny ears. They're so cute. Little bunny ear. Boo, boo, boo. I'm not even like a person that even celebrates Easter or nothing like that. But I said, you know what? I'm going to get the bunny ears. Little bunny. He's so cute. Little bunny ears. So cute. But when she got out the, honey, I had to let it loose, honey. I had to. But look at the cute little bunny ear. Oh, that's so cute.
Love you, Mommy.
Love you too. But yeah, April 1st used to be the first day the people used to celebrate New Year's. Honey, I found them damn bunny ears. They call them April Fools. That's the actual reason why we celebrate April Fool's Day. That's a little bit of history. So I went to the doctor yesterday because I have one of them like hernia. I thought it was a hernia, but it's really like, when you have kids, it's some kind of thing that happens with your stomach where your muscles like separate, and then when you lay down, you get back up. There's like this bulge that happens. I was like, dude, I thought I had a hernia, and they was like, no, that's just something that happens when you have a baby. Your stomach kind of, I don't know, separates or whatever. So they're like, you got to do some core exercises to hopefully bring it closer and back together. I was like, damn. So I gotta get into my back to exercising because that whole thing is irritating, kind of. So, and I decided I'm gonna go ahead and do the bypass, which is crazy. I want to do the gastric bypass surgery. It's so crazy. I went in the doctor for one thing. This is the VA. I went in there for what I thought was a hernia. The nurse brings the doctor in, and he has a paper about the weight loss surgery. And I was like, well, I had already did all the work to do the weight loss surgery. I had already did everything. Lost, I was up to like 335 pounds. After I lost, when I had my little boy, Asar, who passed away, I got up to like 370 pounds. I got down, now I'm down to 280 pounds. So I had to lose all that weight to be... Even like taking the Wegovy and all that stuff like that, taking like the Ozempic, I got to look at stuff. I will freak myself up about anything. I'll get like some this thing disconnected me. Anyway, I'm sorry. He said, listen, this is gonna add more years to your life. You're gonna be very happy with it. You know what I'm saying? Most people I know basically he wanted me to add more years to your life. I said, okay, you know what? It's going to help you. It's going to reset your metabolism. He said most people that are like at your size, it's very hard for them because their metabolism is so slow that even if they lose weight, they gain it back because their metabolism is so slow. So, and he's right. My metabolism is at a screeching halt at this point. And they put me on these thyroid medication, but I don't want to be. I didn't want to take that. I don't like taking all them damn pills. You know what I'm saying? If I took all the pills that they have given me, I would be a dope head. You know what I'm saying? I would be on, like, okay, in the military, like citalopram for depression, high blood pressure medication, that's 3 pills. Then you got like cholesterol medication, that's 5 pills right there. Then you got thyroid, that's 6. Did I say depression? Citalopram, 7. That's 7 different pills. I'm not taking all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm like, if I can get a surgery to reroute everything and reset my system or whatever the fuck happens or whatever, and take all this weight off, then I'll just have to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of crazy though. I never thought I was, yesterday I was like, really, that's crazy to go from yesterday. I'm not even willing to do anything like cosmetic to, I'm willing to reroute my whole intestine. You know what I'm saying? Listen, it's the whole thing is going to be in August, but up until that time, I'm going to lose as much weight as possible. You know what I'm saying? And my biggest thing is I love to drink beer. I'm not going to lie. I have a taste for the beer. And it doesn't even have to be alcoholic beer, because I just like the taste of beer. I don't know what it is. And that's just nothing but just straight carbs, but I love it. You know what I'm saying? So I have to work on that, because I'm not like a person that, I drink my calories. You know what I'm saying? I don't eat a lot, but I drink the calories. That's what he said. He says, okay, you might not eat a lot, but you drink the calories, and beer has a lot of calories in it. So that's why you're not losing weight, because you drink beer. So that's where so I'm not the type of person that just gobbles down food. But if you drink a 6-pack a day, every other day of beer, you know what I'm saying? That's not good either. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes even more, you know what I'm saying? I might drink about 8. And the thing is, I don't get drunk. You know what I'm saying? I'll just be sitting there working and just drinking the beer, doing this, doing that, and getting stuff. I'm a functioning, drinking, getting stuff done. I'll be doing taxes and doing all kind of stuff. Just on the computer, just working. Got the music going, got drinking some beer, doing this, doing that, and maybe join somebody's live or whatever. But I gotta, I've been cutting down. That's why I used to do that every day, which was a mess, and I'm being real, I mean, I don't really care what anybody thinks about what it is what I'm an adult, and that's just a part of what I was doing, I was a functioning, addict, so, cause it definitely was a, routine I was in, like, what's it called? A cycle, you know what I'm saying? Because even when I didn't do it, I'd be like, hey, I would try not to do it, cause I got like used to that schedule, you know what I'm saying? Every other day, this is the beer day, this is the off day. You know what I'm saying? And it's not good, because that stuff feeds on your vitamins and stuff. So I was like becoming really low in certain vitamin, magnesium, all type of stuff, and probably causing some of the ailments. My blood pressure has actually been down lately. I'm not gonna. Because I think it's because I be in a fasted state. You know what I'm saying? When I'm not drinking, I'm not eating that much. I could go like a whole, which is not healthy. You know what I'm saying? So just being unhealthy in general. So I'm working on that. I might be getting that weight loss surgery in August. Please pray for me. But I'm going to try to lose as much weight as I can up until that point. Right now, I went to the doctor. I was at 294. So I'm trying to get down to at least, I'm going to give it to 270, just to be realistic. If I get down to 270, and I lose like 10 pounds, of half this stuff is all water anyway. Like that, like all that, like I can guarantee you, if I like went a day without eating or whatever, I would lose 10 pounds. Like eating or drinking any water, nothing, my weight would go down to like 280. Because it's like, I have a lot of water. I retain a lot of water. And I gotta take water pills and stuff like that. I want to go to the, to the thing and get on LASIK. I lose a lot of water weight when I get like I know it sounds crazy, but when they do a catheter and then they give you LASIK, man, I think I lose like 30 pounds of water. It's crazy how much water is in your system and it's all in your fat and cells and stuff like that. And the fat is holding on to the water. And if you combine that with like fasting and you just do like a dry fast, like you end up losing a lot of water weight, unnecessary water weight. And I just have, and I've done those dry fasts before, and then did like I have this vibration plate, you know what I'm saying? Because, it's hard to fast and be like working out and stuff like that. It's probably not even good for you to do that. Because if you're like really fasting hard, like dry fast, and then you're just trying to work out and stuff like that, it could be kind of dangerous because your body's already losing certain it's losing certain stuff by doing that, So, but I have a vibration plate that allows you to like do stuff and not so you don't injure yourself. Like you could do like mild when you're fasting, you like do mild like stuff like walking, but I don't think most people that fast are usually in a rested state in like a meditative state. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, yeah. So I've decided to go ahead and get the surgery. I'm scared. You know what I'm saying? Because but here's the thing. A lot of people get their surgery and they end up looking really crazy, like big head, really weird looking. But I've been skinny before. You know what I'm saying? I used to be thin, or not thin, but I used to be kind of. I wasn't always like obese, you know what I'm saying? I just, after like about getting pregnant a million times and stuff like that, it just threw off my whole system and now it's just jacked up, So in his last pregnancy, I gained so much weight and a lot of water. Preeclampsia held on to a lot of water. Kidneys wasn't working. It was just a mess. And I have had preeclampsia in every single pregnancy, every single one. And that's why they tied my tubes this time because they were like, preeclampsia gets worse each pregnancy. You know what I'm saying? And you almost was out of here this one. You've had 3 C-sections. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep having C-sections. So I said, you know what? Okay. All right. But hell, but I just didn't like the fact that they waited till I already said no like 5 times. They wait till I'm on the operating table to ask me again. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm already mad because I'm like in pain. You know what I'm saying? Because you're awake when they do the C-section. So right when they're got me opened up and all this pain is going on, they're going to ask me one more time. Do you want to get your tubes tied? And I'm like, yes, just go ahead. Fuck it. That's crazy. That's almost like torturing somebody, I mean, if anybody knows about what happens after you have the baby and they make your loved ones get out that room and it's just you and the doctor and they're putting everything back in your stomach, whatever they're doing, and sewing you up and doing, that's when all the bullshit is going on. Most guys, they're already going crazy when you're having a baby when they see what they do to do a C-section. You know what I'm saying? I've had friends that's like, man, I got kicked out the hospital seeing that. Hell, when I was having Aura, Titus got kicked out the damn room because he saw what the fuck. He like, what the hell is going on? Man, to see a C-section, I've never seen it, but a few men that have told me what it looks like, they're like, no, that shit ain't right. You know what I'm saying? What they did, because I'm sure, then they're pulling the baby out by the head and all kind of stuff. They got your guts out. It's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? They've taken, it's just whatever. You know what I'm saying? Moving things to the side, all kind of wild stuff, And some people, they be getting, man, they don't like what they see. And these men will be about to fight these doctors, but that's probably not the most best thing to do. You got to make sure you're level-headed in a surgery where I'm open, my whole guts are hanging out. You know what I'm saying? So... But some of these men be about to lose it in that delivery room or the surgery room during them C-sections. You know what I'm saying? And I've had 3 of them. And yeah, they were like, hey, listen, do you want to do this again or not? I'm like, hell no. And this time the doctor cut this way instead of cut sideways. So, I mean, yeah, I think he purposely did that. Sometimes these doctors, they know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to have no more kids. So I'm gonna cut this way. I'm gonna convince you. You better not, you know what I'm saying, get pregnant again. Yeah, you're gonna tie your tubes and then my child passes after that. I have a whole lawsuit against that hospital. I don't know if anybody knows. I got a lawsuit because that was crazy. That whole situation was just insane. But anyways, yeah, I took a break yesterday because I was just tired. I think it's like an overcast. It's like I do not operate when it's like. When it's like cloudy and gloomy, I do not. I get so sleepy. For some reason, it just drains the energy out of me, makes me sleepy. So I didn't even do anything. I had things planned to do yesterday, but I didn't do nothing. I may or may not do something today. I might just stay offline for a couple days. To be quite honest, that whole live with Madgie kind of drained me. It drained me because it's like. I'm myself. I'm going to be myself. You know what I'm saying? And it's just crazy how, because I've been thinking about that whole thing and how people were, Grand Rising. Hey, how's it going? Grand Rising. Yeah, I thought about that whole live a couple of days ago. And, because I tend to ruminate over things and think things over and over again. And I think it's very condescending. Okay. Like, if I make a statement, I don't need someone to try to correct me on my statement. You know what I'm saying? Like, I say, hey, I don't think we should talk about people's dead people. Well, okay, well, that's your opinion. I think we should, you know what I'm saying? And keep it moving. Now, I don't know why people thought that they needed to jump on me about that, or people needed to, like, go one by one. Genesis, let me tell you something. I mean, you always do this, and you was doing this lot. Okay, well, then it must be a character trait of mine, you know? If I've always done that, then it must be a part of my character. That I'll do something and I'll think about it again, and then I might backtrack on it, because you know what, now that I thought about that, and that I don't want to keep on with that. And everybody has the right to change their mind. You know what I'm saying? And I think people get mad because I'm just not just 100% like just hating somebody. I've forgiven. See, the thing is that people have to move on and have forgiveness. You know, right now, Madgie is in the stage of the whole Jaguar thing, the beginning stage. I'm past that stage. You know, that she's still on the war path of the Jaguar thing. She's trying to show everybody who she is and convince it, and she's on the war path. And honey, I done been past that. I done had my time going in on Jaguar, doing my lives about her, all that. You know what I'm saying? And then you have all these other people that are somehow attaching themselves to the story. And it's interesting because it's like these people don't know. They've inserted themselves into the Jaguar situation. You know, they don't really know her directly, you know what I'm saying, or really even had any dealings with her outside of the whole ridiculing or reporting on Jaguar, and then Jaguar probably getting mad and saying XYZ about them. But these people have never actually had a friendship with her to know, or even been, even, let's not even say friendship, I would say even a dealing with her to be able to know the contrast between just the part how she behaves online versus how it is when you're just around her and just hanging out, and it's like, people just eating some fries and just chilling, or just making music or whatever, or y'all just telling stories and this, that, the other. You know what I'm saying? So hold on one second. Sorry about that, guys. The school car. I was sitting and left her lunch in the car. But yeah. Don't speak on the dead. Exactly. Like initially I was talking, and I had to back up, like, wait, hold on now. Wait a minute, what am I doing? You know what I'm saying? My head Arisha is Oya. She is the owner of the cemetery, and I had to step back and be like, okay, I think we're doing a little bit too much talking about these people that are deceased. I can't continue to do that, and I had to do, and I have every right to well, no, you being circular. No. It's like, okay, so what? You know what I'm saying? So what? So what if I change my mind? I'm allowed to do that. You know what? Once I realized, I'm like, whatever spoke to me in my ear that was like, y'all need to cut that shit out, and I listened and I obliged and said, you know what? We probably need to stop that, because it's not even about Jaguar, but just out of respect for the people that are deceased and how they feel. Or, you know what I'm saying? Not even how they feel, but it's out of respect for them. Because I'm sure that they love Jaguar. That's when you're talking about energy like that, you want to be very careful. You know what I'm saying? You just don't willy-nilly just start talking shit about people's deceased, you know? And the Ralph knows that. And then you talk about other people's kids and stuff like that, and you got kids, and you know that she deals in magic and this, that, the other, and then we gonna still just sit up here and talk about that? No, I'm not. I don't want no parts of that. Now, we can talk about what went down all day long with me. We can talk about the facts. But if we just gonna sit there and start, and this, that, the other, well, that ain't none of my business. You know what I'm saying? That really ain't none of my business. You know what I'm saying? What her son said, and I had to think about that shit. And so I'm right. I'm allowed to change my damn mind. You know what I'm saying? So people get caught up on, and that's a toxic trait, to just want to sit around and just bash people for, all day, and then get mad when someone has some sense and have to step in, like, oh, wait a minute, are we going too far here? Oh, be quiet, Otis. You know what I'm saying? You always messing it up, Let me take this lunch in. She left it. and karma. So, I don't want no karma for disrespecting the dead like that. And really, when it comes down to Jaguar, I'm not holding on to the same feeling. It takes a lot of energy to be full of rage. You know what I'm saying? To just stay mad. Oh, I'm mad. And to keep that mad. I'm mad. Well, I mean, how long are you going to stay mad? You know what I'm saying? At some point, you got to get over it. And I'm over it. So people just don't understand that I don't hold on to stuff. I don't stay mad at somebody for a long time. I don't fuck with them. I'm not fixing to fuck with you, but I'm not mad at you. Because for you know not what you do. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you did. You just out here living life. You're a shell of the person that you once were. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad to see. And I hope one day, I hope nothing but the best. And I hope one day that you pull it together and be back to where you are. Redeem yourself. That's what I hope. I don't wish ill will on people. Because even a person who have KILL somebody have an opportunity to redeem themselves. I know plenty of people who've killed people. I was in the military, for crying out loud. You know how many people have murdered people in the military? You know what I'm saying? I got family members that were in wars, had bodies on them. You know what I'm saying? And they're some of the most stand-up people. They're kind of, you know what I'm saying? And you got to be a psychopath. They're pretty much almost like serial killers. You know what I'm saying? You think about these people that's in the Marines, and they do these shows on them, and they're like talking about how many kills they had in the military. These are snipers. And people revere those people. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, bro is a whole serial killer. And a hunter, like a hunt people down and sniper for miles away. I mean, and then when the military's through, he get another job doing the same thing. And they get to be redeemed. You know what I'm saying? And you mean to tell me that this lady, who clearly has some kind of trauma going on, something going on with her that has made her go into this way. She had the whole villain story. She done went the whole villain route. That she can't, you know what I'm saying? People can't have no, like, now I'm not saying to become her best friend, but to I think that people should care about her enough to just, like, you know how you do what they say, what you got to do with a narcissist is leave them alone and let them, you know what I'm saying? That's what you got to do. You say you leave a narcissist alone. Leave them alone. Don't pay them no mind. The moment I think that all the people that are in the Jaguar Wright sector are narcissist supply. Narcissistic supply. And all the little content creators that are doing content on her, that's just her supply, And it's a shame. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, and then she said, well, I think you're enabling Jaguar Wright. But you're not enabling her. You're enabling her just by being on this panel talking about some shit that happened 3 years ago. I just thought about that. I might get back on Madge's panel just to say that. I just thought about a lot of things because, I like to really think about stuff. And as much as people say that I was enabling Jag by trying to actually have a kinder thing to say about that whole situation and say, you know what, maybe we should have some forgiveness and this, that, the other. And people said I was being enabling by doing that. And then they'll say, well, why'd you come up here? Oh, okay. So the only people that need to come up here are people that's trying to bash Jaguar, but not anybody that's trying to be understanding and try to have any understanding. This is just only a bash Jaguar section. No other opinions allowed. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not saying that we need to become her best friend, but just to continue because she feeds off of that. Ain't nobody figured out yet that she feeds off of people talking bad about her. She feeds off of it. If everybody started like just playing her music instead of like actually talking about any of her accomplishments when it comes to talking about P. Diddy and this, that, the other, she probably would go back to making music. That's how much she pays attention. Maybe, but because she gets more attention talking about P. Diddy and everything else and being a crash out dummy, then she continues to give the people what they want. The world is a stage, honey. The world is a stage. And cut. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, what else is going on? I just had to vent that out because I really was thinking about that shit. Because I like to evaluate myself. I like to make sure that I'm on point, like that I'm coming at life in the right way. I spend a lot of my time inward, like working on myself, and I don't like to You know, if I make a mistake, or if people are pointing out things to me, I examine it. I really listen to what people have to say, and then I take that on the inside and I break that apart, and I like really, really break it down. Okay, well, am I being enabler? Well, honey, no, not any more than anybody else is. Because I mean, hell, just even doing Madgie is being an enabler to Jag by even keeping her name in the by her putting why did this happen with Jag? Why did that happen with Jag? Why did Jag? Why Sean? And all these like catchy things, and getting 300 people in the room at a time is keeping Jaguar alive without Jaguar having to do shit. Jaguar don't got to do a goddamn thing as long as Madgie is around, as long as what's her name, Danny Robinson around. Who else? King Pan, anybody, all the people who talk about Jaguar, she don't even have to really have a channel. People gonna keep talking about her, and that keep her name relevant. So I'm not. How am I enabling her? Because I said, well, we probably shouldn't talk about her dead relatives. That's enabling, but having this whole panel is not enabling either. I mean, let's just be real. You know, people want to point. People like they think that I'm like the weakest link. And a lot of people like to try to place themselves above me and try to give me and try to tell me. Let me tell you, you know, I saw the same flaw in your logic a year ago. I remember we had a whole conversation, and you were saying the same thing. And I'm like, if I really were to see, I hold back a lot. If I really say what I'm thinking, people would be like, God damn, you know what I'm saying? Because some people should not try to talk down to me about a goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to talk down on me like I'm a child. I said what I fucking said. No, we shouldn't do that. I'm not going to do it. Y'all continue to do that stupid ass shit and be childish, talking about somebody's dead relative. She talked about my deceased son and 3 years ago. Get over it. You know? She talked about your honey. I forgot she talked about mine. That's where I'm at in life. I moved on. I forgot about that shit. I'm not sitting up there dwelling on that. But a lot of people, they want attention. They get up there on the panel. Because I got up there on the panel because Madgie had been on my show. So I was like, oh, let me show some love. And I'm a content creator, and I'm trying to get people to come to my page and subscribe. To be quite honest, yes, I'm definitely clout chasing when I get up there. But some of these other people they don't have no channel, nothing, and they just want to be known and have something to say. You know what I'm saying? And then for you to be coming at me like you trying to tell me about myself, I'm like, man, I'm crazy as hell. I'm watching my own self be silly as hell. So I'm definitely clout chasing when I come up there. I am definitely clout chasing when I come up on your panel because I want people to come to my panel. That's hilarious. Man, girl, if you don't get out, please. I don't need you to tell me attention to get up there on the panel. Because I got up there on the panel because Madgie had been on my show. So I was like, oh, let me show some love. And that's hilarious. And I'm a content creator, and I'm trying to get people to come to my page and subscribe. To be quite honest, yes, I'm definitely clout chasing when I get up there. But some of these other people they don't have no channel, nothing, and they just want to be known and have something to say. You know what I'm saying? And then for you to be coming at me like you trying to tell me about myself, I'm like, man, girl, if you don't get out, please. I don't need you to tell me, give me no pointers on nothing. She can call me and I'll tell her the same thing. No, thank you. I don't need you to tell. A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion. So you can't convince me to think other than how I think. If I think, like, I don't try to convince nobody to change their goddamn mind. For what? Why is everybody? I think that was what this whole thing. Wait, hold on. Do you hear me? I don't try to convince nobody to change their goddamn mind. It's funny hearing this shit back because I didn't realize how fucking crazy I was. Like, kind of, so why are you thinking like the word? I'm like, it doesn't matter. I said what I said. That was it. You know what? You notice I never asked any of them on that panel why they thought what they thought or what was about this. Because I don't give a fuck about what they think. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that I don't think it's right to try to change with somebody. There's a reason why I came upon that conclusion. Now you can ask me, well, why do I say that? And then that's it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, well, I see your logic, or I probably don't see your logic, but this is how I see it. And then that conversation didn't even have to last that long. You know what I'm saying? you know. And I wasn't gonna cover it because I think it's so, stupid. You know what I'm saying? That whole argument was just. I mean, when I look back on it, and this has been 2 days I've been talking about this because it really it irritates the shit out of me because I don't like when people try to gang up on me. And people, they said they wasn't, but it was just like a fucking three-way tag. Well, what's the name? Powwow wasn't really doing all that. You know what I'm saying? But between Shayna and Ralph, it became like a back and forth thing, and I'm like, why? This is what I feel.
Junior Mafia.
And Ralph always tries to say that I'm trying to manipulate somebody, but he's a manipulator his damn self. The nigga's a manipulative person himself. So it take one to know one. I'm not trying to manipulate. And when I said what I said, I wasn't trying to manipulate. I'm speaking my mind. How is what I say always manipulative? Or I'm trying to tug at the heartstrings. People always try to say I'm trying to trauma bond or tug at somebody's heartstrings or whatever. And I'm like, dude, I'm just talking and expressing myself. It's not my fault that you feel heartfelt about something I'm saying. But they'll talk about some shit that happened to them, and then ain't nobody. I don't attack people that way. I don't attack how they talk and try to turn whatever they're saying into something other than what I don't do that to other people. So I get attacked because I'm not attacking people back. Like, well, what the fuck are you talking about then? How do I know that your mother has passed away? You know what I'm saying? Because you talked about it. But when I say something about what happened to me, I'm trauma bonding. I'm trying to tug at people's heartstrings. I'm trying to manipulate the conversation. I'm trying to what you call was up there for like hours, controlling the audience. But I come up there and it's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to change how people are. Well, wasn't you up here? I'm just speaking my mind. Now, if people tend to change how they're thinking because of what I'm saying, then that's, hey, more power to them. There's certain people that probably did feel what I was saying. So why do you have to try to demonize me because some people can feel how I see about the situation? You only want people to follow what you're saying, and you feel overpowered or outshined. When I'm not even trying to outshine anybody, I'm just getting on the panel and I'm just doing my thing. That's the thing, is that I guess when I come up there, I got so much power, and without even knowing it, and I get taken off guard when people start to feel intimidated by when I come up there and I make my statement. People get intimidated and want to attack me because they don't feel it. They feel like I'm taking the power away. Oh, the energy shifted when she came in here. Well, then that means I'm powerful enough to shift the energy, huh? Did you feel that energy shift? Yeah. So I'm powerful. If I can shift the energy of an entire chat, and these motherfuckers are all in different states and different places or whatever, and they feel an energy shift when I come into the room, that's power right there. Whether I shift it to the negative or to the positive, the fact that I can shift energy when I walk into a room or come into a room without even being there physically. Hey, listen. You gave me a compliment, honey. I didn't realize how powerful I was. I'm gonna have to tap into that power. I'm gonna have to tap into that power. My bad. You know what? Let me get back, get on track, and start controlling this unseen power that I have, that I didn't know I had. What the hell? I've been underestimating myself this entire time. What am I doing? I need to stick. I need to lean into that power to manipulate and to. But but here's the thing, is that I know how to manipulate things. I've studied manipulation. I don't use it. You know what I'm saying? I've studied all kind of crazy ass hypnosis and everything. I have never actually used that shit on nobody. And maybe because I've studied out, maybe I subconsciously do it without even realizing it. I don't know. But I don't intentionally go into a room or a situation trying to manipulate or control anything. I go in there being myself, speaking my mind, being straightforward, you know what I'm saying? And people fucking hate it. Because they don't want the truth. They want everybody to like just sit there and talk about the same bullshit over and over again. They don't want anyone. What are you honking at me for, goddammit? What is that dude honking at me for?
Oh, he's talking like that car, that truck.
Oh, okay. All right, have a good day. I was about to have road rage. I was like 2 seconds away from a road rage incident just now. Because, honey, I was looking dead at that guy. Like, what the fuck are you honking at me for? Ain't got near pistol or nothing up in here. About to get my ass whooped by a man. The fuck you honking at me for? Like I'm tough. Honey, I would have windmilled his ass. I would have windmilled the hell out of that dude. Honking at me. But it wasn't. He was honking at the other person. I would have windmilled on his ass. Wow. Honey, if I hit my arms, I would have got the more exercise than I got in a whole year windmill on that dude. And out of breath in there, had that whole asthma attack trying to fight that dude. Honking. Bro, anyway, what am I even talking about? I just be rambling, y'all. This just be a, you know what? It is a stream of consciousness. Whatever I'm thinking at the moment. Purge. It's a purge. You know what? I have been listening to, you know what? I'm gonna share with y'all a routine I do, and I think y'all, if y'all are interested, I was thinking about doing this. I don't know if I should do it or not. But I be listening to Reverend Ike. And I was gonna take like his chants that he be doing. He be doing like these what's that shit called when you affirmations? And I was gonna put some like binaural beats behind it and put the affirmations with it. And every morning, you know, like do those affirmations with y'all. You know what I'm saying? And you know. From a positive level, like every morning kind of get, because I be up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know whether or not people will be like, God damn, you know what I'm saying? But I might just start getting up and start doing that when I get up and do my whole thing with Reverend Ike. Actually share it with y'all so y'all can hear it too and do it, you know? I wonder if I play it, you know, I think I can share my screen and play it. I think so. If I like play it and then put it on YouTube and play it with y'all and, you know, just have it planned. That's what I think I'm going to start doing. Because, you know, and it's one thing to have the stream of consciousness, but it's another thing to, you know, I'm going to stop, you know, it's one thing to just talk about what you think, but it's another thing to actually start helping people to manifest things. Because now I'm actually helping people. Like maybe some of these things I'm saying is helping people because they probably went through something similar where people try to control how they talk and everyone try to manipulate or to not manipulate but try to jump on them about something and they probably feel like, damn, I feel what she's saying. You know, I ain't the only one. But I think I have a very unique group of people that comes to see me, you know, and I think that some of the people that they're probably into the same stuff that I'm into, like meditating and trying to manifest stuff, you know. So I want to share that with y'all. So I'm gonna figure out a way to make that happen. My camera for some reason stopped working. You know, what is this, Mercury retrograde? That's another thing. Right now is Mercury retrograde, and I have been my communication has been off. All communication has been just messing up. So I feel like I need to like chill until this retrograde is over and then start doing stuff, because this is a tough retrograde. I don't know what planet it's in, or you know what sign, what astrological sign is in, but this has been tough. Since the inception of the Mercury retrograde, I've been over here going through the blues. You hear me? Going through it. You hear me? Let me go get some ice. go over here and get me some ice, y'all, and hopefully y'all, you know what? Yeah, I hope that the people that are watching this subscribe. I'm trying to get my subscribers up. If you guys subscribe to my channel, it'll help the algorithm to make it more, show up when you guys, when I do these shows. I have some shows that I was gonna put together, but right now I just feel this retrograde has got me drained. I'm not sure how many more days it is for this shit, but I feel really, and I don't know whether it's because it's looking like it's about to rain out here. Let me slow down. There's police out here. This rain makes me sleepy. See, and let me tell you something that's happening now. And she says she subscribed. Oh, we have to do something special for that. All right. God, yes, please subscribe to my live and me rambling about bullshit. Okay? While you're looking at my arm dangling and jiggling while I'm driving. Shouts out. In Mesquite, they got these new police cars that don't have they got this see-through. They say police, but it's see-through. Like matte, you know what I'm saying? And you don't see that it's the police until you get on the side of it in the reflection. So the sun hit it just the right way. Oh, that's the police. But you can always tell because they always got some kind of weird mirror on the side. Like, oh, that's the police. Trying to, creep around and catch people driving, speeding, and whatever. So if I ever see any it's always these Chargers too. They always driving around a whenever I see a Charger pulling up, I'm like, okay, that could be the police. Because they don't even have the lights on them anymore. They just trying to look like regular cars, but then you ride up beside them and they police. So if you see a white car with a big ass window, a mirror on the side, that's the police. Because why you got that big ass mirror? That's that flips around light. You know what I'm saying? Turn around, get your hand, all that stuff. No. I'm fixing to come over here and get my daily dose of ice, for my iron deficiency. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. What else is going on? Big ass window, a mirror on the side, that's the police. Because why you got that big ass mirror? That's that flips around light. You know what I'm saying? Turn around, get your hand, all that stuff. No. Turn around. I'm fixing to come over here and get my daily dose of ice, for my iron deficiency. Oh my God. What else is going on? I haven't been that much watching the current events and news. My timeline has shifted considerably. I've been watching about a lot of stuff with a lot of these white creators. I'm not sure if anybody has kind of gone on to the white side of YouTube and seen some of the content that they're doing. But a lot of them are really teaching each other or teaching that audience a lot of powerful tools. And I think it's important. I think I'm gonna create a list of some of these creators. I'm gonna do a live and show some of that. I'm afraid that I can't really. I don't know if I can cover some of the things that they're doing, because some people have 13 million followers, some crazy amount of followers. So I know they got a team behind them with, you know what I'm saying, a whole office and everything. So I'm afraid to even cover, And I've always wondered too. A lot of the African chicks, it's like these African channels. where it'd be a girl covering a bunch of stuff on TikTok, and they'll be like African talking about, well, the white people and the black people are good, and so you have a certain content creator, and I'm like, I don't think that I think they got a team behind them. Like they just, you know what I'm saying? They go in there to make their content, because I'm like, who is gathering every day they got like a new video where they talking about different stuff on TikTok. the amount of time it would take to compile that and to put that into a thing to do that, I'm like, I think they got like they must have a production house that they're working out of, and that's what I'm gonna be moving towards when I get my money up, and it's coming soon. I'm getting my money up, trust me. I'm not fixing to stay down. Nothing always just goes down. You're gonna have a moment to come up. You can't.
And where in the hell was I driving, bro?
But I'm gonna figure it out.
Man, what the hell, bro?
I gotta get in.
I never really realized how much like fucking bumpy ass shit I was driving on. Like, god damn, bro. It's like I'm like, god damn, bro. Where am I driving through? Like,
Yeah, I had to start editing some goddamn videos for me. I'm gonna figure it out.
I needed like some shocks on my car or something. Like, god damn,
Be
bro.
overwhelmed though. You know what I'm saying? Because I got over like 1,300 videos on my channel, and I still got. There's some I didn't do the thumbnails for, didn't put the content, whatever stuff in there, the meditation. My channel probably would be a lot more bigger if I actually did some of that stuff. But you know, that's very,
man, that shit's crazy. How am I like, man? When I'm just. Hold on. That's crazy. How my like thing is that shaking that hard. My car. I need like to get like my thing.
Yesterday we had a good show too. You know, it's been an interesting post solar eclipse time. You know, the post solar eclipse.
Damn,
it's been interesting.
Right, off road, bro.
Falling into an alignment.
That's just like it like I was like driving through the goddamn Serengeti up in the like goddamn like bro. I'm like, dude, I have a Lincoln. Lincolns are not supposed to be doing all that bullshit. I'm gonna have to like go ahead and get that shit looked at.
Thought would, you know. We got a very, very good show coming up tonight. I can't wait for it. I'm really excited about it. People like him is constantly moving, got people around him. When you get to that level of success, you kind of hid for yourself when he comes on, because it's going to be a very surprising and interesting show. Yesterday was cool with 607. Look, unfortunately, he lost. He told me when we started the show, he said, "Man, my phone is dead." Because I didn't remind him. I probably should have called him earlier and reminded him. Because, you know, people like him is constantly moving, got people around him. When you get to that level of success, you constantly,
not the
phone's constantly going. You got people around you. You always moving. You know what I'm saying? So you got to remind people like that, hey, remember you supposed to do the show. You know, you ready? And I called him like right when the show was supposed to start, and expecting to have his phone ready. And so he only had like 20 things on his 20%. But he did,
607.
But I want to give him a shout out because, you know, he still came through, gave his word, you know what I'm saying? And we was able to go forward because, you know, at the end of the day, he was talking about the divine feminine. And I want to do a series. I'm going to do a series on that. I'm going to also go back into my older archives talking about some of the divine feminine, talking about, you know, with all the stuff I did with Princella, and get back into this relationship talk because, you know, I do want to start to try to mend some of these relationship problems that we are having in our community. I do want to at least do some shows to talk about that because, you know, to sit up there and really just only talk about religion and then you're not talking about humanity itself is just really a waste of time. You know what I'm saying? We gotta deal with our life, you know, as it, you know, we could deal with the spirit, but we're living a real life, you know what I'm saying? And in that life is relationships. It's like, you know, love. It's all those different things that make up sex. All that stuff makes up who we are, and food, what we eat, all those things are important. Are an important part of ourselves. So I'm going to be getting into diet. I'm going to be getting into relationships, healthy relationships, letting go of toxicity. I'm going to be doing like just different series, just talking about a lot of different things when it comes to, our physical health, spiritual health, and mental health. What else is going on? Got Kanye dressing up like a KKK member. I don't know. I don't really get what he's doing there. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't want attention that goddamn bad. I don't like who do you think is putting him up to this? Like who do you think is like, listen, if you want another $1 billion, you're going to dress up like a black KKK member. There's got to be some kind of monetary gain for all this. It can't all be for publicity stunts. At some point, as a billionaire, what do you even need with a publicity stunt anymore? Most billionaires, they want to like go off into the woods somewhere and farm. I don't really know too many billionaires that are just crying for attention the way Elon and Kanye are. You know what I'm saying? Most billionaires, hey, they get their billions, they damn near go off into the mountains and the woods somewhere. Because once you get to that level, it's like, listen, I don't even want to be bothered with human beings anymore. But these motherfuckers want to dress up in KKK outfits, and he's just really in his lower self. Kanye's in his lower self. Like, he wants to promote Nazism and KKK, and it's like, bro, why don't you promote your something other than what's going on in the flesh? You know what I'm saying? Because all he's been doing is parading his wife around butt naked. Now he's dressed up like the Klan, Nazi symbol, all this other crazy stuff. For what? What are you promoting? What are you doing? Well, you should be over trying to do something. I don't even know what you should be doing. Start a farm. You know what I'm saying? Do something that makes some logical sense. It's like in his mind, he's like, I'm God. And I think about it. What has he really contributed to this earth? I mean, he's made some good music, but I mean, other than that, like, what else have you contributed to think that you're God? Show me like some actual things that you've done that are beyond self-gratification, and then I can say, okay, you know what I'm saying? But parading around in a Klan outfit, it's like, come on now. All this weird symbolism. And maybe there's something to it. Maybe that Klan outfit is connected to some old African thing or whatever. I don't know. I'm sure there's something to everything he's doing, But it just seems like he's just like look like a clown, like a billionaire coon. Like, wow, what? So you got certain billionaires that just kind of like lay low, and then you got the clown billionaire that wants to just walk around in clown Klan outfits and all that stuff. So he wants to be a clown. It's crazy, So it's been interesting. My timeline has been kind of filled with a lot of like Christian stuff that's been interesting. I've been watching. It's like the more I like start to interview people, different religions, and this, that, the other, like a lot of Christian stuff is coming up on my feed. It's really interesting. But so I'm gonna start interviewing a few Christian scholars. I'm gonna do, because I've been doing the Hebrew Israelites, I've been doing the witches and the warlocks and all the different hoodoo practitioners and all the different stuff like that. I'm gonna do a few Christian ones too, because maybe that's what the ancestors want. Let's have some Christian people on your channel as well. Let's be balanced and give everybody a chance to explain what their story is and what their side of it is. But I'm thankful for my content and for the people that are watching, because I really want to bring all these different modalities and take away the veil off of them. Because a lot of times as Christians and as certain belief systems, whatever we believe in, we don't look any further than that. We say, okay, I'm a this. We get the label on our head and we snap it on our head, and we don't look past it. We say, that's who I am and this is what I am. And the more I'm learning is, as time goes on, you have to question, who really are you? You know what I'm saying? Is that really what you believe? You know, as time goes on, belief just becomes something that you have to really like examine your beliefs, who you are, who am I, you know? Am I, you know, I'm not even the same person I was 5 years ago, 3 years ago, let alone, you know, now, you know what I'm saying? I'm not the same person. So do those belief systems still stand up in my world today, you know? So that's pretty much what I try to do, is give people an understanding of all, because I really believe that all those belief systems, there's something to them and there's something for them, for everybody. We should, when we and to bring about religious tolerance. You know, we're more open to be tolerant of different sexualities and different things like that than we will be religious. We'll be willing to war about religion, but then we'll be open to, you know, all these different binary and what's the things, pronouns and all sorts of stuff. And I'm not against all that, but I'm just saying, why would we be tolerant of one but then not be tolerant of the other? You know, why would we be willing to rip each other's heads off on one but then be okay with the other? And all this stuff is all tied together. It all works seamlessly together in some big old conglomerate of things, you know. So yeah, tonight we have Baba Yashabaya. Yesterday we had Zion Warren. We were talking about modesty, female modesty, feminine. And I know there's been times when y'all see me in the mornings with my boobs hanging out, looking crazy. And I just, you know, hey, you know, especially when you're in depression. Like, you know, I just didn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just don't give a fuck, you know? I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I probably wasn't the most modest. Probably was walking outside, no bra on, boobs hanging. You know what I'm saying? And not giving a flying whatever about what anybody thought. You know what I'm saying? But as I raise my daughters and they get older and I start to think about my impression on them, I'm starting to think, well, damn, you know, once my mind is starting to clear up from depression and being so hard on myself, because that's one thing that happens when you get older. You start like realizing, damn, I've been very hard on myself, been very judgmental, and I say a lot of negative things to myself, and I have to work on that, because a lot of like that leads to depression. But I realized that, you know, all that negative speaking to yourself, all that like being harsh on yourself and saying negative things about yourself and stuff like that, like if you stop doing that, you start to actually love yourself, you know, and that actually is going to give a better example for your children to see, you know what I'm saying, so that they could be caring about how they're out here in this world appearing and how they're, because I've always like tried to like not be superficial about appearance, but you know, at some point you have to realize that yes, appearance is important. People that look better get better opportunity. You know, let's just be real. Weight does matter. People do look at your weight and they do judge you based on how big, fat you are, whatever. And it does, you know, I'm sure that I've lost a lot of opportunities because of my size and my weight. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that, you know, I had to talk myself out of getting something from my double check. I was gonna get this what's this shit that you shoot into your some Bella or some shit, and I was fixing to get that shit because I've been so tired of this damn double chin. But you know, it's mostly skin, because I have lost a lot of weight, but sometimes it'll be skin. You know what I'm saying? You'll lose weight, but then there's skin left over. And I was gonna get this Bella and all sorts of crazy stuff because it's supposed to, but you know, it leaves scar tissue and all kind of weird stuff. You end up having to get liposuction and all kind of crazy stuff to like, and I was like, dude, really, am I really considering doing like doing some kind of plastic kind of surgery on myself? Am I really about to do that? You know what I'm saying? And I had to like really reevaluate myself and say, well, damn, you know what? That is insecurity, to be willing to put myself in danger like that, you know, because I'm worried about how my face looks. That's really like, it's vain. It's you know, because I got kids, you know, I'm about to be 50, and my certain aspect of vanity within myself was like, no, I need to get my, and I'm like, dude, bro, I need to be, that money could go towards my kids' education, like It can go to a lot of other things than just like, okay, getting rid of my double chin. It's not gonna fucking matter. You know what I'm saying? Who people you gonna get some compliment? Oh man, you like your face thinned out. Man, you look like you done lost weight in your face. That's all you gonna get. And what I'm gonna like, what the thank you, and be $10,000 broker. Or no, actually I think it's only like $1,000. But I'm saying they probably got to do more, like 2 or 3 of them before it to work or whatever. And then when the shit fucks up and you gotta get it fixed, then now you gotta go and do you gotta get it redone with the lipo. Because if it gets some kind of an adverse reaction, no, I'm not doing that bullshit. If people don't like my fat double chin, so what? You know what I'm saying? And I just had to come to that realization is that, you know what, it is what it is at this point. You start getting to this age, I'll work out and exercise, and if I still got a flappy double chin, oh well. You know what I'm saying? You know, you just gotta like accept yourself and accept what it is. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because all that, you know, going and doing all this artificial stuff and, you know, getting all that Botox in and doing all that stuff. It's I don't think I want to inject a poison into my you know, getting all of my fillers on your face and injecting. Man, listen, I'm supposed to be taking semaglutide, you know, this Ozempic. I have been so afraid to take that shit, you know what I'm saying? Because I drink beer and stuff like that, and I don't want to have like no damn gastroparesis and all, you know what I'm saying? And I know that if I stop drinking beer, I'll lose a lot of weight too. You know what I'm saying? If I also take my thyroid medication, there's a lot of other things I could be doing than to take a shortcut and try to jump through and just shoot this thing into my bloodstream and have myself freezing my stomach and making my digestive even slower. Because first of all, if you're overweight, don't you already have a slow metabolism? Why would you put something into your system to even slow it down even further? What are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? So I don't, you know, my brain has not been able to mentally actually take, you know, that and really do it, because I overthink it and I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. You know, I'd rather take some herbal supplements and make it go from there. You know what I'm saying? What's somebody saying? Okay, see. Yeah, they're utilizing their bodies. Just think of all the issues they'll have when they get older. Exactly. When we look good, we are more confident showing up on the world and open more doors because it shows self-love inside and out. Our daughters mimic us. If we keep ourselves up, they do the same. Yes, that is exactly true. And that's what I've been on lately. I'm like, okay, let me try to put my best foot, whatever that looks like right now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm working on doing some things, whether it be getting facials on the outside. But I don't know if I'm really ready to, you know, I heard the lipo, it leaves scar tissue. You could have blood clots. I'm kind of, you know, maybe I'm just overthinking it, but I'm afraid to, like, you know what's so crazy is that, like, I changed all that shit though. I was like, I'm fixing to get a whole gastro bypass. So all that shit that I said in this live is bullshit. Because when I went to the VA, they were like, listen, you will add like 10 years on your life if you get like gastro bypass. So whatever I'm saying right here is bullshit. Because I'm fixing to like get the gastro bypass. You know, that's what's crazy about me is that I'll be like saying all this bullshit. Now, let me tell you, no, I don't want to do this. And I'll be like, and like 5 minutes later, I'll be like, no, well, maybe. One thing you guys gonna realize about me is I'm crazy as hell. I will change my mind. So now I'm like considering gastro. Like my whole like fucking shit rerouted. But he said, he was like, you know what? And I'm like, okay. And I was like, okay. I went there for to look at my hernia. I thought I had a hernia. They were like, no, you don't have a fucking hernia. You have a thing. I don't know. Something when you're like pregnant and like the thing, like it lifts up when some shit like that. And it was like, no, that's not a hernia. And then she brought the fucking
she brought the fucking obesity doctor into the room, and he had a whole like presentation. I'm like, bitch, really? You know? And he was like, have you thought about like the gastric bypass? Like, I already did the whole like gastric bypass thing, but like the whole everything. I really was like 10 seconds away from getting that shit. Like months ago. And he was like, no, it's new stuff out now. There's new ways we're rerouting the stomachs. We're doing like this instead of that. So you listen, I know this will help you. He was like, you know what? Guess what? It will add like 15 years onto your life. And I'm like, okay. But then I'm still tripping. Like, oh my God, like, I don't know. I don't know, man, bro. Like, what? You fixing to take my stomach and do what? So, yeah, I'm going through like some mental changes on this whole idea of rerouting the stomach. You know what I'm saying? And how they're fixing to do it. And so, yeah. But the way he explains it is that, you know what? It's going to change your whole life. So, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. Because I don't want to look like like thinner. I don't want to look like thinner. I like a little weight on myself. I don't want to look like so thinned out and can't eat that I'm just like, I don't know. So, anyways, guys. You gotta lift down into your cootie cat. Oh no, you gotta like let the cootie cat be big though. Dudes love the big cootie cats. You gotta let the cootie cat still be big though. You know? If I were to like lose a bunch of weight, I'm gonna let my cootie cat still be fat so I could like be like, oh yeah, I'm thin, but my cootie cat is still real extra. But or does it like sag down? Oh, it's sagged down. Oh my god. It's sagged down. The saggy cootie cat. Oh my god. No, not the saggy. Yeah. Could you get like a lipo on the cootie cat? The cootie cat lipo? But the skin is sagging onto the cootie. Lord, what do you do? No. And I've heard that like your boobs sag, you lose hair. And I was like, man, it's too much. Like you're gonna lose your hair, your titties gonna be. Cause I have like pretty round boobs right now. They're not like I don't know, but the saggy like coochie, like a saggy coochie is not. But does it rub real good? Wait, wait. So you're getting it in, and your whole coochie is like rubbing because the sag of the extra skin is just like sagging down like balls. Man, oh my god. Man, we need to have like I'm going to create like a room to talk about this stuff before I like actually do this shit cuz I do have a very fat punani, and if it's going to like be dragging down like some kind of weird ass thing, I need you to tell me what's going to happen. Is my titties going to be like saggy? Is my punani gonna get saggy? All that stuff. That's like not even cool. No saggy punani. I don't want a saggy punani. So, but it might be like something you could do to like unsag the punani. I'm not sure what exercise you could do. Oh my god. What can you do to not have a saggy punani? There's nothing you could do. Oh God. We have to figure that out. We have to figure it out. We have to figure that out. What are we gonna do? Can't have no. Mm-mm. Here crying, y'all. Out here on the news, shedding a tear about his $1 billion valuation, $400 billion valuation going down, and the Tesla boycott is successful. I mean, what can I say? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can't keep I mean, you're gonna have to have some people ain't in this world ain't gonna get away with nothing that they do. Sitting up here, you know, trying to, I mean, you're taking away all the things that people rely on as human beings to survive. And then you don't think that you're gonna have any backlash from that? Like, people just gonna still, you know, just think it's okay to give you more business. Now I can see if he came in and tried to make programs better, but he just said, you know what, just cut everything. You know, just cut all the programs out. And I'm just like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Really? You're just gonna just cut everything? I mean, god dang, you know? We just cutting everything. And, you know, this person is a person that was, you know, raised in, what's that word? Affluence. You know, he never had to really work or do nothing. His family was always loaded, you know what I'm saying? So, the ability, I mean, he already suffered from autism, which kind of gives a social awkwardness to it, and then you add onto it affluence, and then billionaire level status, and you have a psychopath. Okay, when you combine all those things together, it's just crazy. You know, I'm be surprised if he goes to like crime scenes and, you know, looks at everybody, go back home and look in the mirror and tries to mimic the face of the people so he can show emotion. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I wonder how long he had to practice to try to show that emotion. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing I know about autistic people is like they don't cry for the same reasons that everybody else does, you know? And I have an autistic daughter, you know? You might think, oh, he's crying. And I feel kind of bad about kind of everybody that is like making fun of him crying, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he's showing some vulnerability. I'm not sure whether or not someone said to go out and do that, you know? Get up there and show like that you're still a human. You know, shed a few tears. I don't know exactly what. I don't know, or maybe he just, you know, I don't know. But it's just people are not going to feel sorry for you losing billions of dollars if you don't even care about people like losing their homes, losing things that's going to keep them alive. Like people are not going to have any remorse, and I'm seeing it. I mean, they don't give a fuck. The people out here just like, well, whatever till you cry. You know what I'm saying? So that's interesting. So yeah, he's out here crying because he's losing his money. You got Kanye West getting advice from P. Diddy in jail. Keep on going. Come on, you keep on doing it. Honey, but when he was out and when P. Diddy was out and Kanye was acting wild, P. Diddy was not on Kanye's side. He was threatening to Kanye. Y'all remember when P. Diddy threatened Kanye? Because he was crashing out one time and P. Diddy came out and was like, yeah, Kanye said this and Kanye said that. And he was like, I'm gonna see you. He was threatening Kanye. Now, I don't know if he made up with Kanye, but now Kanye was the only one that actually contacted him in prison. You know what, friends? How many of us have them? That you find out who your friends are when you get locked up. You
you get locked up, that's when you find out who your friends are. And I think P. Diddy is finding out that he has no friends. And he, in fact, has no friends. All those people that he was doing the freak offs with and everything like that, the only reason why they have their mouths shut is because of what they probably did in them freak offs was wild, and they don't want people to find out. Because they have tapes, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to. The few people that keep, but you know, some people coming out and saying stuff. Some people out here crying and expressing themselves about what went down. You know, talking about what went down. You know what I'm saying? You got Day 26 out here. They done said what they had to say. Now I know for a second they was shaking in their boots because like right after they came out and told their story, it was a rumor that, you know, he might be getting released. So I know they started shaking, like, oh, no, damn, we came out with our story a little bit too soon. I know they was shaking, like, oh, Lord, they about to get out. Oh, Lord, they about to drop the charges. Man, that whole P. Diddy stuff is crazy, bro. I'm like, man, it's crazy work. That is crazy. I'm going to this Dollar General to get some dewormer. I have to travel like 100 miles just to get to any kind of stores. I used to always make it a point that I always wanted to get property that was around like stores, you know, and then I get a property I have to like drive like miles to like get to the post office, get to a Dollar General. And now I'm thinking about going out even further. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just completely losing it. Like I want to go out into like a completely urban area. What's it called? Not an urban. What's it called? A rural area and start a farm. But then I'm afraid to start a farm, y'all. They are wilding on these black farmers. Man, I was watching this YouTube. And these farmers is talking about how these white farmers is up here burning down their property. They can't even, you know what I'm saying? They put a fence around their property. They got mad. The police ain't doing nothing about it. Honey, I would be like, okay, we about to burn. We gonna have fire for fire then, since the police ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I think it might be the corporation is trying to buy that property, is burning stuff, you know, making it difficult for them. Because let me tell you something, when them corporations want your property and you don't sell it, they come along and they start, either people ended up coming up missing, or they start burning stuff down. They start playing real dirty when they want your property. And for some reason, they want these people. I don't think they want any land to be owned by any individuals anymore. The government wants to own. They're trying to go back. I think they're trying to either get into communism. They're trying to get away from, because if you think about it, they took all the migrant labor away. They're taking they're trying to buy all the farmland. You have so basically all the major oligarchs, all the major big huge business owners, they want to squeeze, just like Walmart did, squeeze the small man out. Because before we had all these little mom and pop shops, and what happened is Walmart came along and got rid of all of them, and now everybody goes to Walmart and they get really like cheap products from China and wherever else, like just kind of terrible products that they make or whatever that are made with poisons. You know, it went from small mom and pop. They're going to get rid of all mom and pop farms, all this stuff. And then what they're going to do is that the corporations are going to be running this. And it's going to be all about like controlling. And I don't understand what's the purpose of that. You know, I don't understand why they want to put everything under corporate ownership, like to drive up the price and to drive down quality, because it's the fiduciary responsibility of the corporation to do what is best for the corporation. That's just period in any company. So if it's cheaper to put these bottles that are cancerous out than to put a better bottle, if like say if you're bottling your water and this water right here has more plastic in it that seeps into the water versus this bottle, they're gonna go with the one over here because it's cheaper, and it's because it's a fiduciary responsibility, not a natural response. Like they don't care about how it might affect the environment. It's really a business becomes its own entity, and it is a fiduciary responsibility of the corporation to do what's best for the corporation. And that is a contract. That is just basic business. So what do you think is going to happen if this entire system gets like kind of put under the control of like a kind of oligarch type of mentality? Is that everything there's going to be, you think AI is bad? You know what I'm saying? When the corporate entity enters into how things are done, that could be just as non-caring as AI. You know, the one thing that makes the government have some level of humanity is because of the thing it's for the people, right? Even though it is somewhat of a corporate entity. I know the states are corporate entities, in America is a corporation. However, the fact that it's run by the people gives it some level of humanity. However, if it becomes more of a corporate structure, it is going to be more and more like, I mean, if you ever read the book 1984, go ahead and read it. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't read it, go read that book 1984 so you can get ready for the future. And for some reason, I'm trying to figure out whether they want us African Americans to leave the country and go somewhere else, or do they want us to stay here? Or are they trying to block us and make it so that we can't leave the country? Because they have all these new rules right now to where like they're about to like limit traveling, like letting in people from different countries. So that means even people that's like going out to those countries, like say if they're trying to get dual citizenship and this, that, the other, they're trying to kind of make it so that Trump is trying to like make it so that you don't go and get dual citizenship. Or trying to limit the countries that have dual citizenship, you know, from even letting people in and out. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I'm not sure if they're trying to like trap us here in America and then make life hell for us and then turn us all into like slaves, or I don't know exactly what they're trying to do. I'm trying to have a positive outcome. Like maybe they are trying to do something for the betterment of society and trying to make a utopia. I'm hoping that could be what the goal is. That would be my pie in the sky, heartfelt. Maybe we don't understand what the true outcome is and what they're trying to do. But I'm definitely considering going to another country. I definitely want. I'm definitely. I don't know how I feel about how things are kind of getting run out here. And I'm like, dude, and it's like, it's interesting how I'm seeing how, like, even with the older generation, like, how they kneel to like, okay, so Elon Musk is kind of like, you'll see Trump kind of bow down to Elon Musk because he has more of a net worth than he does, even though Trump is an elder, you know. So I'm looking at, like, I'm seeing like a cultural thing that's a little bit different with Caucasians and people in power versus in America for blacks in like African, because even in Africa there's a certain respect given to elders. It doesn't matter what position that you're in or how much money you have. If you're an elder, you still are given respect even if I have more money than you, you know. So it's interesting because even when you like see how like Elon is standing over Trump's like kind of sitting down with, you know, hunched over in the Oval Office. He's got his child on his shoulders. That's like showing like a certain level of power. Or maybe Elon Musk is just not aware of himself. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But to me, it's either a cultural difference to where, because I'm not even seeing any real outrage about how that was looking, the optics of that. Like, I don't think that looks good on like a maybe a international stage of like this Elon Musk kind of towering over the president and talking about what he's going to do while his son tells Trump to shut up, and that's like another showing of, and was he corrected? Like, oh, hold on, no, you respect your elders. I don't think he was. So it's just, that's interesting. I don't know. What else is going on? I'm over here trying to get some dog deworming because my dog has been scooting its behind across everything in my house. It is so gross. And then I have to go get me some parasite cleans because from what if your dog got worms, you probably got worms too. So I'm going to get me a parasite cleanse. I was thinking about getting some ivermectin. I heard that even though it is for for any of the people that own horses, you know what I'm saying, that if you could get like some ivermectin for your horse, you know what I'm saying, that it goes by weight and you can actually get the ivermectin for your horse, you know what I'm saying, and you give it to your horse and it like helps your horse get rid of parasites and stuff like that. And it actually has also gotten rid of like cancer in horses, you know what I'm saying, and different like illnesses. And there's actually a list of all the illnesses that ivermectin has gotten rid of for horses. You know what I'm saying, for horses. So I'm looking at that. So I might go to the feed store and get some ivermectin for horses. And I've been doing like I've been doing bathing in oregano oil, and I think that's kind of been interesting. I think it's kind of helped my skin a little, and some circulation, stuff like that. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not, I'm just letting people know what I've been doing, for my own to balance out the poison. I'm also, doing some stuff to like balance out all of the environmental things that I like kind of do on a daily basis. I've also heard taking a bath in like boric acid, stuff like that, things like that to help kind of get rid of different environmental things that are out here, because we just be out here in this gas and stuff. These cars are shooting out gas. There's all kind of different like environmental things that are attaching to us. So like I like to take baths and like scrub my skin and use certain herbs to like get some of those or fight some of those bacteria, all those different things that that get attached. The next thing I gotta do is get like some allergy medicine, because now it's allergy season. That's why I'm like, me and my kids are up there like, we're having our the allergy time. So I gotta figure out the allergy cleanse, the mucus cleanse for that. Because it's like I'm having like the beginning of the hay fevers. What else is going on? I see it seems like everybody's like talking about the same stories. I mean, have you noticed that when you get on YouTube? Like one person, okay, just hilarious, right? She said something. It seems maybe it's my timeline on YouTube. I need to be more conscious or do something, because I noticed my timeline. I'm like, okay, I need to get off of this algorithm of like whatever it is that everybody's talking about in the news and all this other stuff. Whether it be that Just Hilarious said something to the Breakfast Club, or Jaguar Wright got served, or this and that. I need to get off of that timeline and onto like something like either making some money or something like that, because that Just Hilarious not being at the Breakfast Club ain't making me no damn money. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of seeing this bull crap on my timeline. You know what I'm saying? Can my timeline be about how to make $1 million? I need that on my timeline. What's up? Scam Chan, what's up? Oh, you made it. YouTube been like making it hard for people to see my videos. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I don't know what's going on with this Trump situation, this Elon Musk situation. He crying. Trump, I think a lot of his stuff is not going through, y'all. So, maybe there's a chance, that they might be able to, so what Trump is doing as a president, because there's some people in the other levels that can block it or to sue or whatever, maybe we have a chance of this just completely not just going hell in a handbasket. You know what I'm saying? Because they just came in there, they like hell on wheels. They just said, hey, end all the programs. You know what I'm saying? End everything. Man, there was this one thing, DEI, they're actually erasing people off of, like, the people that there was people in the Pentagon pictures they had up, like, on the website at the Pentagon, that some people that was in the Vietnam War, had a Medal of Honor, was the first black person to ever like win a Medal of Honor, and they were honoring him. I think on a website. Honey, they began. I'm not sure who it is. I'm sure Elon Musk people, the Doge folks, are going to these different websites, deleting any African American, anything that have anything to do with African American or Latino people contribution to the military, to the anything. And I'm like, really? What the hell? These people was around before DEI, bro. Like, why are we? Why? So now we trying to erase history. Now we don't want. We don't. Their fathers were immigrants. They're not even from America. So you have this kind of J.D. Vance. I think he's like from South Africa. So it's almost like an infiltration. They had to have a meeting. It's an infiltration of certain people from from the apartheid and like this Nazi kind of like regime that I think that's trying to, and it's really not even Nazi. It's like a oligarch, like this thing. All these business people that probably rub each other's shoulders and balls or whatever else they rub to get money from each other to like fund their companies, and they all work in intercession together, like they're all incestually intertwined with each other. You know, they're all, you know, I think that's also probably why Donald Trump had to bow down, because maybe Elon was at the top of this little group that they all, you know what I'm saying? You know, because it sounds like it's like a hierarchy going on, you know? And then I end up taking care of the damn dog. Like, don't. Yep, so what else? I harm myself or harm somebody else? But if you broke, you're going to be in a shelter somewhere or battling on the corner in a tent somewhere. That is crazy. So it's just as much as, because they were trying to do the same thing to Kanye. They were trying to do the same thing to Kanye. They were up there like, listen, if you don't pull it together, somebody sent him a thing, you're going to be in a crazy house, you know what I'm saying? Because he got money. Because he has money, the people have, the more money you get, the more people, that's dangerous. That's a dangerous situation, right? Because people can like take your freedom away. I mean, here, if you broke, if you homeless, they don't give a crap. Hey, you know what I'm saying? You out in that's it. You know, and no one cares. But you got some money, oh my God, you start crashing out, honey, it's too much money on the floor for you to be crashing out. We gonna get control of your life and your money and your assets, and then we're gonna throw you into a mental ward, and we're gonna control all your money and be the guardians over your money and run your estate. That is crazy. But if you broke, you're gonna be in a shelter somewhere or battling on the corner in a tent somewhere. And those places that do for dementia, you know how much money? Do you know how much money they charge? Like, some of them be charging like 10,000. Like, I know some places like that. Okay, one room is like $2,500 a month, and don't fool around and have Medicaid, Medicare, da 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 da, because then you charge the rent, and then you charge Medicaid on the back end for all the services, and now you make it for each person like thousands of dollars. Mr. Trump, we need to dominate. We need to get more of us on this thing. We need to that's why they want to make America a white state, a white country. What's the word for that? It's not utopian. Oh, I can't think of the word. But you know, like, I'm not trying to be no Hunger Games type of world. You know what I'm saying? Where you got the different zones for people, and you know what I'm saying? You can't go in this zone. You on this level, and you know what I'm saying? They're trying to break down society into, you know what I'm saying? You have a social score. The rich are over here, and you can't travel over to that area because, you know, they break everything down. You know what I'm saying? Got everybody in electric cars. You can't go to this area because you're in the. You know what I'm saying? That's what I believe everything's kind of moving towards. These smart cities. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have cameras everywhere. You know, trace everywhere you go, and then you get a social score. You know what I'm saying? And based on your social score, determines where you are in society. I'm not trying to be a part of that. What the hell? What am I looking at my purse for anyway? That's what it seems like it's headed towards, though.
All right, so I'm fixing to go to sleep, but I want to show something. Let's see what's going on over here.